Hello, I am Bentham and welcome back to Factorio. So in the previous episode everything was absolutely fine and fixed, and then suddenly iron went wrong. So we're going to have to go fix that. So looking at it, well, there seem to be two causes. One is that the ore can't get round the corners fast enough, and one is that the iron outpost in the north is continually running down, and so the supply is gradually decreasing over time, and eventually it got to a point where the new train unloading system could not deal with it anymore. So we're going to have to make it even faster. So first of all, I need to redirect some of the ore, because at the moment it goes through the middle, and now we need the middle for something else. So I'm just clearing out that stuff there and making sure that everything else is going in a different direction, so they all go round the front this time rather than through the middle. And then stick down a substation, because we're going to need to get rid of these electricity poles as well. And then we put in another chest on each side. So we've just gone from 8 chests to 10 chests just as soon as they start being loaded into. There we go. So immediately we've just increased the rate that the ore is coming out of the trains, and hopefully the outpost will be able to deal with that. And immediately you can see that the ore starts to pile up again in the smelting area, so it looks like that's fixed. However, meanwhile on the main line, the iron plates are still not going quick enough. There's still too many are being taken out and not enough are being put back in by my system. So I upgrade it so that it uses 3 chests and therefore 3 fast inserters. And of course that means that the rate that the ore can go onto the ore, I keep saying ore, the rate that the plates can go onto the conveyor belts is tripled, and immediately I can see that it's now backed up really nicely all the way along the line that's used for blue science and a couple of other things. So that's awesome. Now the thing is that now that it's going at the fastest it can possibly go in terms of iron, it's using up more circuits, and now we need to increase the circuits. So I stick down a chest with an inserter, and that will put circuits onto the line, taken from the circuit production used for modules, because of course the modules are all finished now. We've made them all. It's not very often that the system has to start moving. It's just occasionally when I'll take out some more effectivity modules or some speed modules, because I've made some new assemblers. So that production's just sat around not doing anything, so we might as well use some of our logistics drones to deliver the circuits over to the other line where they're needed. Now back over here we have battery production, and you remember last episode we were having some trouble with that, and I stuck some speed modules in to try and fix the problem, but it's not been enough, because of course we've managed to fix smart inserters, which means that the science rate is going faster, and now the batteries are running down, so we're going to have to do something about that. So I'm about to put some more grid speed modules in. I think, no, this is not the way to do it. I must not compromise and start using the cursed speed modules that make everything less energy efficient. So I need to do some moving around. So first of all, I get myself another chemical plant, and I stick these side by side. And then because I've moved out of the way one of the ones that was there, we now have a port in the store of sulfuric acid there that we can bring a pipe out of that can connect to both of them. So we get the things connected up and use some underground pipes to keep things clean. And then we use a provider chest and a requester chest to get the batteries from those 2 assemblers to the other assembler. So hopefully that will fix everything. Got a bit of a coffee throat today. But anyway, going back over to the blue science production, I just have a watch of how the system is running and make sure that the batteries are actually backing up. That should hopefully fix it. There we go. See how if the batteries are backing up, and they're sort of not, but they look like they're getting closer. So I keep watching for a while to see if it gets there. And there you saw that for a second one was there without the inserter taking it. So very, very slowly the battery production will build up, and the build-up will appear, and then there will no longer be any shortages of any of the materials needed for the blue science pack. So anyway, time to go on a day trip. But just before I do that, I noticed that the power generation needs a bit of a boost, so I add in some more solar panels. Unfortunately, I don't have enough circuits with me, so it takes a million years to actually get the solar panels crafted. So I decided to wander off and check out all the iron deposits and the mines on them. And you can see this one's lost a few more mining drills, which I think is why we started having the troubles with the smelters at the end of last episode. And then once I've gone off to the other outposts and trimmed stuff away, the solar panels get done and I can put those on and off I go. So, of course, what I'm going to do today is kill a bunch of aliens, of biters and all their bases. So off we go. There's one, and we get all those dead and steal all the things, and then there's a single spawner over here, grab all that, hop back into the car, and off we go. As night falls, it's a night raid. We run in, kill a bunch more of them, and it's just easy at this point. This is a slightly bigger one, so I decided to employ some destroyer drones. I can have millions of them now. I just get a cluster of 5, because, well, 25 actually, but it's 5 units of them. And off we go, just charging through, not bothering to take the car. We could just run at them. We've got a couple of the speed boosty exoskeleton things and stuff like that. So it's just easy. We just charge through, and I could probably just collect the artifacts and not even do any shooting, and I would still be safe. But anyway, you can see that occasionally there's some explosions because the destroyer drones run out of time. Look at this base here. This is insane. This is the biggest base I've ever seen. There's like the number of worms alone was crazy, just in the middle of the base. But anyway, that's dealt with now because it's not that hard. I just got a few extra destroyer drones to help me. And there's this big one as well, but this doesn't have worms in it, so it's not quite as crazy really. But we just run around and collect all of the alien artifacts up. It's as simple as that. And then move on again. All the destroyer drones run out. That's the thing, there's so much in the way of alien artifacts to collect that the destroyer drones keep dying because I'm just running around grabbing all the artifacts. And there we go, running through here and killing all these and getting even more. And then it looks like it's about time to go. I'm in the middle of unexplored wilderness. Usually I'd stay within the area that my radars can see, and if they can't see, I need to build more radars. So I suppose I do need to do that. It's not as important, honestly. We've got such a long sight range now on anything that might be approaching our base that it's really not a problem. There's not that much more to scan. We can see plenty of deposits of all sorts, and we'll not need to go beyond what we can see for a very, very long time. And we're just flying past all sorts of random deposits as we drive back home. Nearly crash into that there, and then I do crash into that. I really need to like widen that gate or something. I'm not very good at this whole precision driving thing. Anyway, back to base to get resupplied by millions of circuits, seeing as I use them all up making those solar panels. And immediately I can see that we have a problem with advanced circuitry on the blue science production, so try and fix that. Realise that because we need plastic for it, we should probably position ourselves slightly differently. So that should be fine, though it might be a bit problematic if we need to expand any more than this, because we're sort of boxing in the conveyor belts there. Anyway, that should hopefully resupply things, but also battery production. I don't know whether it's been dropping down again, or whether it's just been going really slow, but it needs fixing. So we need to do yet another battery plant. And this is really weird to me because I don't think there's ever been a game where I've needed more than one battery chemical, well, more than one chemical plant for batteries before. But then I've never gone that far, as far as I've gone in this, and getting as much science as this, if you know what I mean. Getting the insane science rate that we have here. It's really making things a bit weird. Things where you would only expect to need one of them, I'm suddenly needing 4. That's how crazy the science rate that I've got going here is. Anyway, things are a bit fiddlier now. I have to get some conveyor belts involved to get all the batteries into the right place, but get them all put into a provider chest again, and hopefully this should be more than enough to keep everything running totally fine now in terms of batteries. So anyway, you can see they all come flooding in and immediately start to build up really nicely, so I don't think we're going to have any trouble with those now. But the thing is, looking at advanced circuit production, you can see that that's not getting anywhere, and if anything it's going down. So we're going to have to fix that now. So what I decide to do is, well, the same fix that I've been doing for a lot of things recently, because it seems to work pretty well, is put in a requester chest to help put more advanced circuits into the system. And of course these advanced circuits are coming from the module production, where they are no longer needed really, because we're not producing modules anymore. We've got to that point. Anyway, check the power system and everything looks good there. And you may notice for a minute I went on the 50-hour time thing on there, because I can now make use of that. That's how long this game's been going. I can look at the 50-hour record of power usage, and I can get some information from it. Anyway, I was looking at the science buffers and I completely misread the red one and thought that we needed more production. Though basically what happened is I forgot that logistics drones will not try and refill something if it doesn't have any empty slots. And so the red buffer has 1 full slot and 1 half empty one, so it still has some in it. We got an attack on the south wall there. It's been a while since I've been beyond the south wall, so maybe I'll go on a massacre there next episode. But anyway, I forgot that that's how the request a chest system works. So I saw that the chest wasn't completely full and thought that I needed to increase the production, so I did, but I didn't need to, so it was wasteful in the end, and I realized this after a few minutes, but I decided to just leave it as it is because it doesn't make any real difference apart from using a bit of resources. At the moment we've got resources coming out of our ears really. I mean we're using all the resources that come out of our ears, but it's still coming out of our ears. Anyway, now that I've got all of the different requirements for blue science backed up, we can increase the production of blue science. So I go do that and add in another assembler, which means I need to move the buffer along if the buffer ever actually gets anything in it, which is unlikely really. Though I think with this, now that we've got 8 assemblers working on blue science, it may be that all the science labs are going again and we might actually get it backing up. The only thing is I know that alien science isn't quick enough. Anyway, over here I'm looking at the production and suddenly the iron plates are running down again, which is weird. And also we need to do some more work on the circuit, so I add in another chest for that, and that should hopefully keep it working. But I'm not sure what's happened to iron. It was all fine a minute ago, but now suddenly it's not. So the thing is, all of the smelters are going, but apparently not enough iron is going into the system anymore. So I guess we're going to have to increase the number of smelters. We're going to have to extend the lovely symmetrical looking smelting area by adding on another bunch of smelters. So do a bit of scouting and decide that the best way to do it probably, well, there's more efficient ways, because you can see I'm leaving a gap between the conveyor belts there, but that's just sort of for aesthetic purposes and being able to run up and down without being carried along by belts in the wrong direction or whatever. But anyway, we get we siphon off some ore from the line that feeds the sort of the backup smelters, which have been running non-stop for a while now, and then we have it feeding onto the main iron line after a bunch has been extracted to be taken by logistics drones. And now we've got another 5 smelters, and hopefully that should fix things. The only thing is that may well lead to not having enough unloading capacity anymore. And indeed, after looking around at the belts, I realised that things are starting to run down, and so we're going to have to do something about that. So we don't really have enough time this episode, but I think what we're going to have to do is add another carriage onto the iron train. We're going to have to have 2 iron ore carriages. That's how crazy it's getting. Anyway, trying to sort of even things out a bit. Realised that I can actually do a more efficient method of my my system that goes around, my splitter that goes around the corner and evens out either side of a belt, and so I need to go and fix that with everything. Anyway, I meant to catch the iron train, but I missed it, so I decided to run down myself, and while I'm on my way, I realised that there's some copper miners that are running down, so I decided to add in a couple more just to balance that out. Can't be bothered doing the whole thing right now. It's all a bit fiddly and rough-edged over there, so yeah. We're going over to the iron deposit, seeing as we're going to be adding a new carriage soon, a new cargo wagon, and we're probably going to need a lot more iron being mined. So I go and do that, set up a bunch more miners, get effectivity modules into all of them, and then get the conveyor belts all hooked up and things. It's sort of weirdly positioned, so I have to sort of go back along the belt and around again, but it's fine, doesn't make any difference at the end of the day. Once they're all connected to the power grid, off they go, and we're now mining this entire iron deposit, so we're probably going to need to move on to a new one as well soon if it turns out that this isn't enough for 2 cargo wagons. But anyway, make my way back, and you can see that there's smelters starting to shut down because we don't have enough iron ore supply, so Yep, definitely need to fix that soon. Anyway, wandering over to oil, I realise I've not done anything with this for the entire episode, and we've run out of petroleum gas. So after doing a quick fix of that and hoping that it works, it is time to end the episode. So I shall say goodbye, thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time.